Sydney Sutherland was the kind of woman who lit up every room she walked into, young, driven, and deeply loved in her small Arkansas town. Travis Doyle was the man no one ever noticed, quiet, polite, and invisible in plain sight.
No one
could have predicted that their paths would cross in the most chilling way imaginable, or that behind Travis's ordinary life hid a darkness waiting to strike. What began as a routine afternoon jog turned into a nightmare that would shake a community and expose a horrifying truth. Sometimes the most dangerous monsters are the ones you never see coming. It was a quiet summer afternoon in the small town of Ashgrove, nestled deep in the farmland of northeast Arkansas, the kind of town where everyone knew each other's name and bad news traveled faster than the morning paper. Sydney Sutherland was a 25-year-old nurse, full of energy, known for her bright smile and her daily jogging routine down the gravel roads just outside town. She grew up here, lived just off Highway 18, and nothing about her routine ever seemed out of place. So one day she never came home. August 12th started like any other. Sydney clocked out of work just before noon and posted on social media about heading out for her afternoon run. Her Fitbit logged her movement down County Road 41, a stretch surrounded by cornfields and scattered homes. Then the data stopped. No more steps, no return home. Her phone went silent. When she didn't show up for dinner that evening, her family reported her missing. Search parties fanned out quickly. Dozens of neighbors, friends, and even strangers walked shoulder to shoulder through the fields, calling her name, praying to find something. The sheriff's department launched drones. Helicopters scanned the area. But all they found was her phone, thrown into a ditch off the roadside, still blinking with unread messages. No footprints, no signs of struggle, no answers. Rumors swirled. Maybe she ran off. Maybe it was an accident. But everyone who knew Sydney insisted she would never vanish on her own. And then came the first real break. A farmer reported seeing a white pickup truck parked near the spot her phone had been found. So that truck belonged to a man named Travis Doyle, a local delivery driver who'd grown up in the area. He was quiet, kept to himself, never been in trouble before. But when questioned by police, something didn't sit right. His story about where he was that afternoon changed twice. With no solid evidence, the investigation stalled. Days turned into a week. Sydney's family refused to give up. Then, 8 days after her disappearance, a dog sniffing through a field over a mile from where Sydney was last seen uncovered something horrific. Partially buried beneath dry soil was a woman's body. DNA confirmed it was Sydney. Autopsy results were chilling. Sydney had been struck on the head, likely incapacitated, and then brutally killed. But the most unsettling part was the timeline. Based on decomposition and stomach contents, experts concluded she had been alive for nearly 24 hours after her abduction. Investigators circled back to Travis Doyle. This time, they searched his truck and home. In the back of his vehicle, forensic teams found blood small traces. Almost invisible, but they matched Sydney's DNA. Even more damning. GPS data placed him on the same road at the exact time Sydney's fitness tracker stopped recording movement. He was arrested and charged with her abduction and murder. But the motive remained a mystery. During questioning, Travis finally confessed, but the details were even more bizarre than anyone expected. He claimed he hadn't planned anything. He said he saw Sydney running, slowed down, and something just snapped. He offered no real reason, just impulse, rage, maybe envy. He said he'd buried her because he panicked, never meaning for any of it to happen. It was hard to believe. Investigators later uncovered journal entries on his computer. Dark fantasies and violent thoughts that hinted this may not have been random at all. The town of Ashgrove was never the same. People locked their doors earlier, changed their routines. Sydney's story haunted everyone who had joined the search, who had hoped for a miracle. But what made this case truly unforgettable wasn't just the senseless tragedy, it was the silence that surrounded it for so long. A man who everyone thought was harmless had been hiding something terrifying in plain sight. To this day, no one really knows why Travis did what he did. He never tried to justify it. He pled guilty in court, received a life sentence, and refused interviews. Sydney's parents turned their grief into advocacy, creating a foundation in her name to help victims and push for better protections for women. But the wound still runs deep, because this case was a reminder of something we all try to forget. that sometimes danger isn't loud. Sometimes it's a quiet truck pulling up on a sunny day, on a road you thought was safe.